Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, this is Vaughn Ryder, and welcome back to Well Done, my Let's Play on the Vintage Beef fan server, episode 36, and the response to my Minecon episode previously, where I was talking about my experiences at Minecon, seemed to go over pretty well, so I'm going to continue talking about that, and I think I've grown as a builder since I built this little castle, and I don't like these towers anymore. So today, we're going to take the towers down, probably starting with the roof. I don't have any ender pearls on me? What? And probably the cobble, or the stone brick. And I don't know why I came up here instead of going down. But while I do that, I'm going to talk about Minecon. Last episode, I ended off at the end of day one of the actual convention, and I couldn't quite remember the sequence of events, but I remember them now. I looked at my notes, and at the end of the first day, which was Saturday, I believe. God, I don't remember. But we did go to Disneyland. Part of the Minecon ticket price thing, you got in for free after I think 7 p.m. into the Disneyland Studios, which is not Disneyland itself, because there's apparently two parks. There's the Disneyland Park and there's Disneyland Studios, which is different. But we got into the Disneyland Studios park for free. Or, it wasn't for free, but it was included in the price of the ticket to Minecon. And why am I glitching out here? Okay. Something weird happening there. But, I'm a fan of Disney. I live in Southern California. I have a season pass to the Disneyland in Southern California. It's very expensive, but I really enjoy it as... I'm not really a party person. I'm a nerd. I don't really drink. I mean, I drink socially, but not... I've actually never been drunk in my life. I've been fairly tipsy, but I've never been drunk. I have no interest in that sort of thing. I don't really care if other people do, but that's just not, it's not for me. It's not it doesn't interest me. So, I like the concept of Disney as a place to go, to hang out with friends. Most of my friends are from the internet, so, it's still dangerous enough meeting people off the internet for the first time that you want a nice, safe place to meet, and Disney is a nice, safe place to meet. Some of you know that, I've organized some meetups from the subreddit, the Minecraft subreddit, and the first time you meet somebody on the from the subreddit, I'm like, probably shouldn't be meeting at somebody's apartment or house, because that's just dangerous enough that it's wise to meet in a safe public spot. And Disneyland is definitely a safe public spot, and it's a great place for stuff to do. Even if you don't really like rides and stuff, it's just a good place to do stuff. There's food, there's entertainment. So, I like Disney, and I'm not even, like, a big Disney, like, collector. I don't buy, like, statues or memorabilia, or I don't have, like, a Mickey Mouse kitchen or anything. I just casually like it. But anyway, I was looking forward to going, and I had remembered that Paws had wanted to go to the Buzz Lightyear ride, so I was looking forward to hanging out at Disney. I was like, at least me and Paws will have fun if nobody else does. I wasn't as sure that Good was gonna have as much fun. And of course, I don't know if every Minecracker went, but I think all of the Minecrackers went that night, and I think we had a huge amount of fans too, especially the kids. A lot of like 14-year-old boys following us, and that was just really cool. Some of you know I work in education. I'm not exactly a teacher, and I don't exactly want to talk about what I do in my public channel, but needless to say, I work with high school age students, so 13 to 18 years old. That's what I do pretty much every day, and as a result, like I've got like a weird kind of understanding of the 14-year-old boy and girl mentality, and so it was really cool to just be able to hang out with these kids in a kind of mentor position, but also as a friend. There's so many negative role models out there. I guess you're not a role model if you're negative, but so many people that I think don't make good role models for kids these days, And I think that, you know, despite the occasional swearing or something, that the Minecraft guys on average are all really good role models. I think that they've all got their hearts in the right spot, and even if I don't agree with everything that every Minecracker does, or don't enjoy watching every video that every Minecracker does, or whatever, excuse me, I think that they're all really good people. You know, I don't think that they would be on the server if they weren't good people, you know, deep down. So, seeing so many kids aspiring to hang out with and be like some of these Minecraft guys, I thought it was just really cool. And usually they're just a voice commenting on a video saying, you know, first, or I liked your build or whatever. Like, usually there's no way when you have 20,000, I mean 500,000 subscribers, or 100,000 or 50,000 or whatever, when you have that many subscribers, just it's very difficult to have any sort of real dialogue with your fans. So getting to watch Good or Pause or BOO or whoever, getting to ride on rides with their fans and really get a chance to talk to them, it was just really cool. And it kind of sounds weird because I was kind of the fly on the wall watching it from the side. It was another case where I, for the most part, kind of stepped back and watched it instead of trying to get all up in everybody's face. But it was a lot of fun. It was like I was enjoying it vicariously. You know, they weren't there to see me, but I ended up talking to a lot of them because there was like 70 fans and like 9 Minecraft guys or 8 Minecraft guys. So there was a lot of time to like chat with the kids as we waited in line. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't ride every ride that the Minecrackers rode on. I'm not a big roller coaster fan, and they went on a big roller coaster. And me and Pause and Blame the Controller were not roller coaster fans, so while everybody went on that, we hung out at a shitty-looking food joint. All of the food at Disney was really bad, and Disneyland Paris is not Disneyland. Just in case any of you who went, that was your first or only experience with Disney, like, please don't let the Parisian Disneyland turn you off of Disney, because it's not at all like the US Disney's, and it was pretty bad. Like, at times, some of the worst experiences that I had in France were at Disneyland, because it's not held to the standards that American Disneyland is, and it was pretty bad at times. We went on the Tower of Terror. There was like 70 of us, and we all got separated in different lines because there were like I guess, like, the park was open just to Minecon people, so I found it kind of weird that there were, like, non-Minecon people at the park, but I don't really know what the story behind that was, but there were literally, like, oops, I guess I should have gotten a silk pick for these, but whatever. Yeah, following Good and Pause and stuff onto the Tower of Terror, there was probably 70 of us, 50 to 70 of us, and we got kind of separated at different points, because that was just, you know, there was lots of people there. But for the most part, there was 70 of us. And we get to the Tower of Terror can seat, like, it's like a big elevator, basically. And it seats about maybe 15 to 20 people. So our entire party could not sit on it. But they kind of wanted to keep groups together, which is cool. I mean, that was nice that they wanted to. But the guy that was in charge of, like, our section was just like if he worked at the Disneyland parks in America, I feel like he would have been fired for his, like, super rude behavior. And I'm sure Good will tell this story because the guy was an extreme asshole. And I am full up. Can I get rid of anything? No. Well, we can use this chest, and let's go down a little bit and put it here and blah blah blah. So, like, he was like, how many are in your party? And we're like, 70? And he was like, what? No, there's not 70 of you. And we were like, but actually there are. Just like, we didn't need him to separate our group. We were just like, take the first 15 that are in line, and then take the next 15 in the next one. And he spoke really good English, so I don't know why he was having a problem with, like, trying to sort out our situation. It was just, he was making it so much more difficult than it needed to be, and Good was getting very irate with him, and the guy was getting, like, equally irate back, and he didn't understand that there were, like, 70 of us in our group, but also couldn't seem to comprehend that we didn't need to all sit together. Like, we just Just take the 15 that were in like the small section. It was like, I still don't even understand what the guy's problem was, because it was, I don't know, it was just stupid. And he ended up like grabbing some guys that were like 2 behind us, and he was like, "Do you speak French?" And they're obviously not with you. And I'm sure Good will tell this story, and he'll tell it much better than I will. But needless to say, it was stupid. It was, I don't know what just happened there, but it was weird. But yeah, we ended up getting on, and the ride was really fun. I've been on the US version, and it was pretty much exactly the same, except, you know, in French, which was kind of weird. But I think everybody enjoyed it. We didn't end up getting the group shot of it, and I kind of wish that we had now. But it was fun. I know Ipla screamed her whole way down. That was hilarious. I was with a bunch of my friends. And, you know, I forgot to mention in my last video, I was sharing a hotel room with some guys that I met on the Reddit, and that was really cool. Basically, like, right as soon as I got my ticket for Minecon, I was like, the only way I can really pull this off is if I room with some people, because the Disneyland hotels are very expensive, and there's no way that I can afford to just have a hotel to myself. And so I was like, anybody got a room that needs a roommate? And basically met this complete stranger on the internet. Kids, don't try this at home. And he was rooming with 2 other guys that I also didn't know, and we talked a little bit over Reddit and Twitter before we got to the convention, but basically we met for the first time there and had no idea if we were going to be dealing with, like, complete weirdos. And it turned out to be just totally awesome. I was so glad that I had these friends to hang out with. I spent a lot of time with the Minecraft guys, but I spent a lot of time without them, you know, just hanging out more or less by myself. And it was awesome to have these guys to share this experience with. So the guy that was renting the room was named Anariston, and he was Irish, I think, but grew up part of his life in Florida. So he had an American accent, and that was kind of cool, but I think lives in the UK. And then the other 2 guys that share the room, one was named The Spook. He was Austrian and younger. I think he was 18. And the third guy was named Kinross, and he was British. And we all met there, and we had kind of no idea if we would really get along or not, and it just turned out that we all got along really well. And we also ended up making friends with 2 other... I mean, I ended up making a lot of friends, just not even Minecraft friends, but Bizarre Jelly 5, who you may have seen in some of the videos that people have put out. She was really cool, British, huge Farlands or Bust fan, and we were all big Farlands or Bust fans, so we kind of ended up being like the Farland group. And then Page of Maces was another person that we met up with. I think they knew her from online. I don't even know where some people came from, and I know that there are going to be people that I forget to mention. Roots was another cool guy. I didn't room with him, but we ended up running around Paris together one day. And of course I mentioned Killa Marcy and Mr. Silvermatch, who one was German and one was French. They were volunteers for Minecon and people that I had met through Reddit and Twitter. We all just hung around and ran around Disneyland together and all over the Paris world. Paris world. So it was a lot of fun. And Disneyland, I ended up making friends with quite a few of the 14-year-olds that I was hanging out with. I remember one guy named Journey was hanging out with us, and he, I think, rode some crazy ride with Good. I mean, we rode on, like, so many, like, weird rides. Some of them were the same as they are in America. Like, the Tower of Terror is pretty much the same. But, like, there was a Finding Nemo ride there, and we were like, oh, that'll be fun, you know, nice little Finding Nemo ride. And we got on expecting it to be, like, one of those little, almost like those slow rides where you sit and you watch, and they have, like, little animatronic people that wave and sing at you. And that's how it started out, and it was all fun and games. And then suddenly, the turtles from Finding Nemo, the hey dude, you know, Crush I think is his name. I don't know, that's my bad Australian accent. But they showed up, and suddenly it turned into like this crazy, like almost Space Mountain, riding backwards really fast through curves, and it was kind of terrifying, I have to admit. And I'm I'm not afraid of roller coasters, but I'm not a big fan of them. So that was really unexpected, and it went on for way longer than I expected and was way rougher than I expected. So after that, we got off and we were like terrified, and poor Blame, the controller, has like motion sickness and had to sit down because we did not expect it to be a crazy roller coaster ride. And I remember me and Paz were kind of terrified. It was a lot of fun, but not at all what I was expecting. And I remember riding on that with some 14-year-old kids. I think that's the one that Good rode on with a kid named Journey. It was just really cool to hang out with those kids. And at the end of the night, we stopped for food, and I'm telling you, man, the food is like the worst food. We're all really hungry. Park is like about to close. We should have just gone back to Earl of Sandwich because that was pretty much the only place in the entire park that was not completely crap and was also affordable. But we decided to eat at Disney, and they had a menu, and it was like option 1 was a hamburger, option 2 was a cheeseburger, option 3 was like an Angus steak or something, steak burger. And we all ordered 1, 2, or 3, except for Good. Good did not want to. Good could not find a bathroom to wash his hands, and he has like kind of issues where he won't eat if he has to touch the food with his hands and he can't wash his hands. He will not eat. And that seems a little extreme, but Good did not get sick at the convention, and a lot of people did. So I don't think it's entirely unfounded fear. But he didn't eat, and the rest of us did, and Paws couldn't finish the Angus burger that he got. I choked the... I got like a chicken sandwich. It was like a burger, a chicken sandwich, or the Angus sandwich. And I got the chicken sandwich, and it was terrible. It was pretty much the worst food that I had ever had at a Disneyland park, or in Paris, or anywhere, basically. I mean, it was bad. Like, I don't eat fast food. I don't eat at McDonald's or places like that at all, ever. But I would have rather had a McDonald's sandwich than this place, because at least McDonald's has like standards. It was really bad, and we were all complaining, and it was not. It was like I say, if that was your only experience with Disney, please don't let that spoil you, because Disney generally has standards, and this place did not have standards. I'm honestly kind of surprised that it's. I mean, it's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. So the park has been around for 20 years with standards that bad. Apparently they like bought the Disney name but don't hold to like Disney standards. But it amazes me because it's so bad. I can't even explain how bad it was. But after that, I think we were all pretty exhausted. I know I went to bed really early. And in fact, I had missed out on some stuff, because after the panel, when I was like handling Good and like trying to help keep him hydrated and sane, I remember we went and ate again for like lunch or something at Earl of Sandwich, and I just bailed. I was like, I had not slept well at all, like since basically arriving at the convention, or in Paris. I'd gotten like maybe 6 hours of sleep over like the last 5 days or something. I mean, it was, I would like lay down, but I just wouldn't sleep. Like, I think I was overdosing on caffeine so that I would stay awake, but even though I was super exhausted, like, because I'd had so much caffeine, my brain was still just running a million miles an hour. I remember after hanging out with them drinking at the Castle Bar where that first night, where Doc had fought off those insane Amsterdam guys from attacking BOO. Yeah, watch Good's videos. He'll explain that story for you. But I just hadn't slept. I had just stayed up pretty much all night thinking. And not that I wasn't exhausted, but I was just not sleeping. So I remember after handling Good at the panel, I was like, I have to go take a nap. And I regret that I did, because I missed out on cool stuff, really cool stuff, you know. But I mean, every moment of that trip was awesome. Something awesome was happening. But I was so exhausted I had to sleep. And I remember I went back to the hotel and napped for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Just barely any time at all, and I got like the best. I don't have any food on me. Did I put it in this? I put it up there, didn't I? Probably put it up there, and I'm gonna starve to death. I got like the best sleep that I'd had the whole convention. That 1 hour, and I so did not want to wake up again. But I'm glad that I did, because of course we went to Disneyland, and that was definitely an experience that I didn't want to miss out on, but I was wrecked. So I honestly, I don't know if they went out drinking again that night. I don't think they did. I think everybody was pretty tired, but I missed it, whatever it was. And it was like midnight by the time I went to sleep anyway. So it's not like I went to bed at 7 or something. That was a lot of fun. And then the next day was the second day of Minecon, and I remember that Good and Paz and Doc were on an IGN panel, and so I wanted to see that. But it was the first day I really got to hang out at the convention itself, so I got to walk around the dealer hall, or the exhibit hall. It was bigger than I expected, but there was less merchandise than I expected. I'd really wanted to buy like a shirt or something, especially to bring home to my 10-year-old nephew, who is officially obsessed with Minecraft now. And I couldn't find any shirts. There was a Threadless store that had ordered shirts, but they hadn't come for whatever reason. I guess they had gotten lost in shipping or in the mail or something. So that wasn't it. And then there was a lot of stuff that you could buy from the Minecraft website. You know, if you go to minecraft.com or .net and then go to their store, you can buy vinyl creepers and keychains and lots of t-shirts and things. And they had a lot of that stuff for sale at Minecon, but it was all for sale in euros. So, for instance, you could buy the creeper scarf for 25 euros, which is a crap ton of money, especially when you translate it into American dollars. I was like, well, although I would love to have this right now, I could also just go home and buy it on the website for a lot cheaper. And like, granted, you're saving in shipping, but if you buy multiple things, it was still cheaper just to buy it online. So there was nothing that I felt was like exclusively Minecon. Like, I really was hoping that there would be like a Minecon shirt or something, and I didn't see anything like that. And later on, we went after the IGN panel, which was nice. We went to closing ceremonies together, and as we're walking into the closing ceremonies place, I noticed that there was like a booth there selling shirts, and the con was basically over at that point. And we were rushing to our seats, and I wish I'd gotten up at one point and gone over there to look, because I think they might have had shirts that were Minecon related or something. But like the place that the closing ceremonies was so far away from the place that the main dealer or the main exhibit halls and all of the panelist halls and stuff were. I didn't even know that place existed until we got there. So that was kind of disappointing, and it's part of the reason why I'm really sad that Minecon was only 2 days long. It really seems like the convention should have been 3 days long, because if, you know, I don't know, it just there wasn't a whole lot of content, but I still didn't get to do like half of the things that I wanted to do, because, you know, you're just trying to see everyone and do everything, and then the convention was over, and it was over almost before I even got to do anything. So that was pretty disappointing in terms of like merchandise shopping, which has nothing to do with like Minecon or Minecraft, but just part of the thing that disappointed me, because I would have liked to have seen some of that stuff and didn't even know that place was there. I mean, they did okay with how bad everything was set up originally, like the bad ticketing and the fact that the schedule wasn't announced till like the day of the con, and people didn't know if they were going to be on panels until like a day or two before they left. You know, it was really badly organized, but it also went off really well. I was pretty surprised with how much I enjoyed Minecon, despite the fact that it seemed really badly organized. But I really hope that next year, if they do it again, they have like a better map. Like, they didn't even have any like paper schedules. You had to like use your phone. You had to like download it and use your phone, but there was no internet in pretty much all of Paris. So unless you were a Parisian or had like a European data plan, or like paid a huge amount of money to get data roaming charges, like you couldn't use half of the stuff. So I didn't even know like half of the area existed. It was just, it worked, but it could have been much better. You know, it was disappointing how much I missed. Considering how much money you paid to get out to Paris and stuff, it should have not been like the last 5 minutes of the con that I realized that there was an entire area that I didn't even know existed. But that was fun. We saw the closing ceremonies. It was okay. I mean, it's crazy because the hall, you could tell that Notch had spent a ton of money to like rent out this room and deck it out with an insane sound system and lights and stuff, but I would have rather had better planning and better panels and better maps and things than fancy lights. So I felt like their priorities were kind of in the wrong spot, but it's not my convention. Hey, Olmok. After the closing ceremonies, we had some downtime. I think we probably went out and ate again. We spent a lot of time at Earl of Sandwich, and I'm sure I'm forgetting so much stuff. Like, that's part of the problem. It's been 2 weeks now, and I've forgotten it all. But, hi, Olmok. Yes, I am back from Europe. He's asking if I'm back from Europe. He doesn't know that I'm recording this. But, that night was the Skrillex concert, and I was not in any way, shape, or form planning to go to that at all, ever, because, like I said, that is not really in my scene, and I have absolutely no problem with people whose scene that is, but it's not my scene, and I was content to just, like, I figured, like, somebody like Kurt would also not be interested in it, and I also had talked to Kurt, and he had told me he was not interested in it, so I figured that I would go find Kurt and anybody else who didn't want to go to the concert, and sit in the lobby somewhere and chat, maybe get a drink somewhere, have fun, and you had to have, like, lined up, like, way in advance, like, days in advance, not days in advance, but, like, you had to wait up in a line to get this wristband to go to the concert, and they only had, like, a limited number of bracelets to give out for people to go to the event, and I was perfectly content not to go, and then Good told me that he had an extra bracelet, and did I want to go? And I didn't really want to go, but I knew that Paws really wanted to go, because Paws is a big fan of Skrillex. And I knew Doc was going, and Pyro was going, and Good kind of wanted to go, and basically, if Good asks you to do something, you kind of say yes, and I knew that Good didn't want to stay. Like, he wanted to check it out and leave, and so I was like, okay, if we go and we get to leave in like an hour, then I will go with you. And then we can hang out back at the hotel or whatever, and not worry about it. And so I agreed to go, and he took forever to find it and was almost late, and I didn't get to change. Not that it mattered, because I wore a coat the entire time, because it was freaking freezing there. That is a shovel. But I agreed to go with Good, and this is like one of those situations where you're like, everything that happens to Good is true. Because the whole Skrillex concert was just like one comedy of errors that never stopped. Am I full again? I am full again. It's because I got a bunch of little tiny things. Look at all this crap. And I didn't answer Olmok. Yes, I am back, but I don't want to stop and chat with you because that doesn't make for a good video. Sorry. But I ended up going, and there was like a whole snafu with like getting on the bus, because the bus ran at like different weird times, and there weren't enough seats. When the bus finally showed up, like, everybody piled onto it, and Good was just like, go, 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 and he was like sitting on Paz's lap at one point. I think that picture even got tweeted out, because there weren't enough seats on the bus. He had got everybody on the bus. There was enough seats for everybody except for Good. So, and he was like, I don't want to wait until the next bus, so let's just not go. And he was gonna try to like ride 45 minutes sitting in Paz's lap just so that he wouldn't have to get the next bus or not go or cause delays or whatever. And the bus driver was like, nope, that is not acceptable, and so made him leave. And then we found out at the very, like, right as Good is about to get off the bus, we realized that there's like an extra seat at the front of the bus that like folds down by the door. So basically Good is like sitting in the driver's seat, and I even took a picture of it because it was just so absurd. And I was sitting in the front seat, the front like first proper seat or something, and so we were like way up front, and it was just like one thing after another of craziness. Okay, I've got to tell Olmok, yes, I'm back. I'm quack. Yes, I'm back. It was awesome, and all these things are going to spawn as I'm doing this. Recording. Getamo. Alright, so we were riding to frickin' Skrillex, and we're like, it's funny because Good kept saying, I'm not going back to Paris, I'm not going back to Paris, and he ends up going to Paris once with the Minecraft guys, hello internet, and once with the Skrillex bus. And just, For as much as he didn't want to go to Paris, he ended up going back to Paris a couple times. That's probably all I'm going to do for this episode. I guess I will save the Skrillex story for next episode, and I can't believe that this is like 2 episodes now that I have not done anything or gotten through even the second day of Minecon, because I spent like 10 days with these guys and would love to talk to you guys all about it. You'll have to tell me about it when you're done. I'm sure I will. But it was a lot of fun, and I will tell you about the craziness of Skrillex tomorrow in the next episode. I hopefully will have some more photos to overlay on this episode. And I do have a couple videos. I didn't take as many videos and pictures as I wanted, just because, as I said, I felt like I was hanging out more as a friend than a fan, and it felt really awkward at times to pull out my camera. But I did get some fun videos and photos, especially during the London meetup, where, I don't know, it just felt a little easier to take photos or videos or something. I got a great video of Good dancing that I will totally put up, because he's got a video of me dancing the Thriller with Doc, and not that I'm embarrassed by that. I knew he was filming, and I was not drunk at the time, so I knew that was going to come out. But Good doesn't dance, and I've got video of him dancing, so that'll be a fun one to share with you guys. Also, I did get a bunch of stuff at Minecon, like swag and things. Not as much as I thought I would, and unfortunately I lost one of the postcards that Good gave me, and I feel like a total idiot for doing that. But I did get some autographed magnets. I got some Minecon stuff. They gave away some cool stuff. I don't really know what you guys are going to want, but I do have some giveaway things to give away eventually. So I don't know yet how I'm going to do that, and I don't know yet what's worthwhile giving away. Like, would you guys actually want my unsigned Minecon badge? Would you guys want my Minecon wrist bracelet? Would you want my Skrillex bracelet? Like, I don't know if those are things that people would actually want. So, let me know. I will go over everything that I got in another video, probably with photos. So, stay tuned for that. Don't give up. You will definitely have to be subscribed to me in order to win one of those. Although, of course, as always, you can unsubscribe after the contest if you really want to be a dick and do that. But that's entirely up to you. Anyways, this episode is 30 minutes long, and I gotta talk to Olmok, so thanks so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you next time.